Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to our morning note. It is 8:58 this morning, 2 minutes early. Welcome again. It's our morning note. We do this at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every day, every market day. Welcome again. It's September 9th, Wednesday. I know it's a short week, so it feels like a Tuesday, but it's really a Wednesday. Let's talk market, shall we? Dow futures are up 182 points in a nice little bounce. NASDAQ futures up 156 points, up 1.42% on a slight bounce here, or a nice bounce here on the little bit of relief after a 3-day sell-off in tech. S&P futures up 0.85% pre-market, 3363. Russell 2000 index futures 1516 up about 0.59%. Crude oil futures up 1.6% or 1.7%, excuse me. Bitcoin futures nice bounce. That 10,000 support level in futures held, 2.3%. Gold is basically flat, 1942 an ounce. Silver 26.90 an ounce, down 0.32%. Euro dollar up 27 pips at 117.99. Dollar yen 106.18 up 15 pips. The dollar index is down slightly 0.08%. The VIX is actually red nearly 4% at 30.24. 30 handle is very key to break back down if we're going to get a push to the upside. So looking at it here, we are getting a slight relief bounce. The question is, does it hold up? So there's a couple of things I want to go over before we begin. There was an interesting post that I looked at last night, and I posted last night on Instagram, and it was very, very interesting to see. So, uh, we talked about stay bullish, and people always say, oh, what do you think now, Carlos? Set it up. Personally, I've been buying stocks, and I'll be buying more today. So here's a record that this is from Brian Dietrich on Twitter. Feel free to follow him; he's great. Another record for 2020, and this one isn't to be excited about. He says it took the Nasdaq only 3 days to go from a new high to a correction. The Nasdaq is now in correction territory, down 10%. For anyone who wants to know what a bear market is, it's down 20% from their highs. Down 10% is a correction. So we are a correction in NASDAQ, non-EMini futures are down. The good news, the other previous fastest corrections ever saw extremely strong returns the next year. So let's go ahead with the most recent one. February 27, 2020, the NASDAQ was at 85.66, and we were 6 days from all-time high to a correction. In 1 month, it fell 12.42%. The 3 month return after that, or 3 month return rolling, was 9.3%. The 6 month rolling, which it includes this month, again, this is after February, last month, excuse me, 36% return. And 12-month return, we don't have that data. But before that was the date, I believe, the 3rd of June, 2019. We were at 7,333 on NASDAQ. We were 20 days from all-time high to a correction, so NASDAQ does like to move. The 1 month return after that correction, the 10% fall, 10% gain, 10.5%. 3 month return, 8.5%. 6 month, 18.17% return. And in 12 months, 31%. So you can see the last two times this happened, we've had a return in 6 months, we had a return in 12 months, a nice one. So, with that being said, if you are investing in tech companies, again, it is important to invest in what you know the company, know what you're getting into, know the management, read those earnings conference calls, those earning calls, look for the prospect of growth. Don't just buy just any stock because you think it's hot and it's up to the upside. Nikola was up 50% yesterday. I still don't want to own it. I'd rather own Tesla personally. But again, nothing wrong with Nikola if you want to own it. Again, everyone's different. But I have not made any new tech positions. I've just been adding to the names that I've wanted, that I've already owned, like Nvidia, like Amazon, like Apple, like Space, which is Virgin Galactic, which got a price target upgrade. So let's go ahead and do the average here. Again, if you want to follow along, this is on our Instagram page. This is the second to last post we did. The fastest correction ever for the NASDAQ. So the average return after a correction was 0.24% to the downside within 1 month. The 3 month return was 5.28%, 6 month 23% return, and in 1 year, 12 months, 26.72%. That is the average return after a correction. That's not bad, especially if you are dollar cost averaging your 401k or long term looking at it. That's why I tell investors to understand to look long term. If you are just basing your investment profile, your investment setup based on everyday movements, you're going to go crazy. That's not how it works. Now, if you're a trader, that's completely different, but we're talking about investing here. So again, you want to take a look at that. The median 1 month return, 3.33% after a correction, 5% 3 month return after the correction, 20% return on a 6 month basis, and 31% on a 12 month. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, well, Carlos, how accurate is this? Well, 1 month return, 63% of the time has been positive. Again, these are the last corrections since 1980 in the NASDAQ, the fastest ones. 72% was a positive return in 3 months. 90% of the time, the last corrections, we've had a positive return 6 months. And again, 90% in 12 months. So you're talking about a 90% chance. It's not a bad chance. Obviously, there's always risk. 90% chance that we will bounce back off these lows on the NASDAQ from this correction territory. And that's what I'm banking on. That's why I say stay bullish there. That's why I don't think anyone should change their investment approach here. I do think it's okay to take profit. I talked about this a couple of weeks ago. I said, hey, before September starts, I'll expect some volatility due to the election. Take some profits. It's okay if you want to. I have not. I told our investment club that, and it's smart to do so. Again, if you took profits the last couple of weeks, last couple of days, you shouldn't be upset at all with the market bounce. It's good to have some realized gains and move on and move forward with your life. You can always get back in. The market's not going anywhere. So again, I just wanted to kind of go over that with you ahead of time. So let's go ahead and talk about, excuse me, my eyes, what we're looking at in the market. So looking at EMini Futures, there's a couple levels I want to take a look at here. Let's go ahead and, again, this is the micro EMini Futures, which I trade with our futures group. We got a nice gap down at 6 p.m. last night, and we actually hit it with our futures group. So I made about $1,000 on that trade, which is not bad, and it was well played. Nice bounce here. Again, a couple levels I want to see a break for. 33.76 is my level, which would retrace the losses from yesterday on EMini Futures. So we'd be basically a break even for the week on EMini Futures. That's great. That's my level one. If we break 33.76, I really want to see that break of the 50-day moving average of 33.85. If we break that, then I'll start taking a look at taking a long position on E-mini futures to maybe target 34.50, which would be the Friday close basic levels, your Friday close levels, going in from Sunday and back and forth there. 34.50 needs to be retaken. Keep in mind, 33.97 was the all-time high before this rise last month. It took a little bit to get there, but we're still kind of hovering there. We're about 20 handles away. So let's see. I do have some SPY puts with the options group. Again, I'm holding that. That's a really good hedge. I think that it could be that, we could hit that resistance here at 33.76, which is yesterday's opening bell price, cash open. We could definitely fall from those levels. So nothing has really changed. Again, we could get more sell-off here, but 3 days have passed after the sell. 3 days of selling, very heavy selling has passed. It could be that we're maybe be in oversold territory. It could be to the point that the bears are getting selling exhaustion. It could be the profits have already been taken. It could be the shorts are just winding out of their position and we get a short squeeze. Again, any of these scenarios could happen. So it's really just technicals at this level. We are up 1% on E-mini futures. That's nice, but again, we have to have follow through because we've seen these kind of moves in futures, especially Sunday. And then cash opens on Tuesday and we tank. So I have seen every overnight bounce and then we sell since Wednesday. Since Wednesday, actually Thursday morning, you could see that sell, rise pre-market and sell, pre-market Sunday, Monday, and then sell. So again, I am expecting that 33.76 resistance to hold. I think we get a little more sell-off here. I think there will be some profits taken. Nothing has really changed on the technical side. There's a lot of break levels that we need to hit. The 100-day moving average on the 1 hour chart for E-mini futures is definitely a big level, which is 34.27. I have right above that 34.50. I think if we do get above 34.50, then the trend is likely to change. But for right now, short term, I still think you are an offense in regards to investing, looking at some stocks that you've been wanting to get. Obviously, since Apple's up, I wouldn't buy any stocks that are green today. I always want to take a look at stocks that are red. I want to find a nice deal. So again, the the short-term bear thesis and the correction thing, the correction deal right now hasn't really changed. But again, you can get some slight pops in here. It could be sold off. So you really need to play technicals here instead of fundamentals at this level. Looking at NASDAQ instead, NASDAQ is actually outperforming E-mini futures S&P. A lot of levels I'm looking at here. 11514 is the recovery level of basically Tuesday at the cash open, or basically the recovery level of 4 a.m. sell-off right before the open. So 11235 here, still got about another 260 points to go. The 50-day moving average seems to be that resistance there. It could be we reject that. Same thing as EMini Futures. But again, I think any kind of rejection there to me is important to get. I am looking for a nice green close today. I don't think we get a 2% move or anything like that. I think a 1% move on the NASDAQ to the upside seems very prudent. Maybe 0.5% on S&P as we kind of tread water today. There wasn't a lot of action on a Tuesday after Labor Day. We were basically pretty stagnant. We had a couple of drops in NASDAQ, but all the selling was basically in the morning. So I think we closed green, but again, slightly green as the sellers get exhausted. We're not out of the woods yet in regards to short-term correction territory and all that. But again, it's something to watch for moving forward. You play technicals for right now if you're trading, and you take a look and see what's out there. All right, so that's basically what I'm going to. I am looking to buy a stock that I already own in my portfolio this week. That is Lululemon. I'm going to go ahead and actually add to my position on that. I'm actually up on that stock about 90%. They just had their earnings. I like the call. I think they're doing solid, great online sales. Revenue was slightly better than expected. Obviously, it's still down. Could be profit taking. I mean, name it. DocuSign had a great call and they fell. So again, I want to go ahead and buy Lululemon. I've been waiting for a nice pullback, and now I have the opportunity to add some to my portfolio. So, okay, tons of questions. I know, I apologize. Kim asks, Apple hits 140 by the end of September. A very good question because Apple is reporting their their iPhones on September 15th. I just got the email from them since I'm a customer and I have a profile with them. So Apple will be reporting their new the new iPhone lineup, iPad, and I think Apple Watch. I was called iWatch, Apple Watch. So I am bullish on the name. Obviously, I've been adding to my position on Apple, my stock position. Keep in mind, options expiry is next Friday. So again, it usually is pretty bullish and a lot more volatility. Great time to actually set it up for the release. The 5G Apple phones, a super cycle. I like that. I'm bullish on the name. 140 definitely could be in sight for that. All it takes is one squeeze. I think more prudently is probably 128.84. I think that's more likely the scenario. So if you're playing calls, maybe take a look at the 130s, maybe 125s for next week since it's already Wednesday. Could be something there. Will take another dip, or is this it? I think today will be ending green vibe dealer. I think we'll end slightly green. That 50-day moving average on NASDAQ seems to be heavy resistance right now. It'd be nice to see a break, but for right now, I think we kind of tread water today. Not much action in the cash session. It will end green on NASDAQ. We'll end green on S&P more than likely. I think NASDAQ will be the best case scenario, ends in green, but not 2% or anything like that. I think right around 1%, one and a quarter. We'll go ahead and close there on Nasdaq, which will end the 3-day sell-off and get some kind of relief. Now you have one or two scenarios. It could be the all clear sign for a lot of people, or it could be the bear saying it could be a bull trap where there's more additional selling. That remains to be seen, but there's a lot of levels that need to be broken on tech. Let's see. Do you think Turkish lira falling will affect agricultural commodities? The Turkish lira has been having a lot of issues. I don't follow forex as much anymore. But I don't know what the Turkey's exports is or imports is. So I'd have to research a bit more. But I know the Turkish lira currency is not a really great situation over there, especially with their leader or Erdogan, or I forget. I don't know how to pronounce his name. So I have to research a little more to get you a better analysis. Let's see. How much of an effect do you think battery day possibly having on Tesla stock? I think Tesla could be definitely at an oversold level. I think some people will start buying some more here in a bit. So the battery day could be a nice catalyst until we get earnings in October. So again, I think a lot of Tesla bulls will find a way to buy some stock, to buy some shares at these prices, and be find a catalyst for it. And I think battery day could be it. What is happening? Is this a bull trap? Or are we reversing? No, I don't think. Again, nice relief, little slight relief rally. It doesn't mean we got out of the woods yet. There's a lot of technical levels. I talked about that in the monologue. Again, I think we end green today, but again, there's a lot of levels that need to be broken. Austin asks. My apologies. My Internet is having issues here. Okay, I hope that you caught that. I talked about the 3 month, the 6 month, and the 12-month NASDAQ scenario with that correction, and you see how that bounce happened. So again, if you're a long-term investor, I talked about that in the monologue. So make sure to rewind and go back to the beginning. Let's see. Let's answer Austin's question. I got Chewy 90 calls. Wow. That's a hell of a bullish bet. And the 135 Pelotons. That's really out of the money. Uh, I don't see what you see there. But again, it's for next week. If you're expecting explosion of earnings, it's a hell of a bet. Uh, I, it depends how much you put in it. If you have a big position on it, I would be a little nervous and maybe take a little bit off because that's a hell of a move. Again, that sounds like a very much of a gamble play. So I'm hoping that you don't have a big position on it and then you're basically just doing as a lotto. But that's pretty rough. Thoughts on starting position on Lulu on the pullback on strong earnings? Yeah, I just talked about that at the open. I like Lulu here. I own the stock. I'm going to go ahead and add to it. So I like this kind of move after earnings. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and see from there. Okay, so EMini Futures just broke my alert. Again, it needs to break that 50-day for me. But again, we just retraced all the loss from yesterday on EMini Futures. Let's see. Tesla 260 calls for the week. 260 calls, it's way above that. So I'm not gonna buy in the money Tesla calls. Thoughts on IBM and T? I like T more in regards to the dividend, personally. DKNG was just price upgraded. I don't see anything in the chart to play. Are you looking at calls or puts today? Honestly, right now we're really in no man's land, so it's really difficult to say. I gotta see continuation on Nasdaq to see some calls. I have to see these levels break before we change trend. Right now, it is still looking pretty bearish out there. What did you shop last 3 days? If you join our investment club, you could definitely take a look. I have my portfolio up there. AMD breakout level. AMD, let's see. AMD, well, breakout level. If you want to break out, you're gonna get above the highs, which is 94.28. What other sector currently hot since we slowed down on tech? I still like housing. I talked about that on a video as well. I like D.R. Horton. I like Home Depot. I like Lowe's. I like Sherwin-Williams. I also like KB Homes. I think home building would be a great sector to get into. Thoughts on Etsy going up in the inclusion? Now that's old news. That's already been priced in. Um, there's no reason for me to buy Etsy here at all. I'm not a fan of it. I don't see why would I buy that. Yeah, MES's alert hit. So I cut my spy call and let it ride for the week. I don't know what spy calls you have. All 360 on Tesla. My apologies, guys. Okay, guys, my apologies. The internet is cutting in and out. I apologize. You probably missed a bunch. I have really fast internet in the house, but again, it gets spotty sometimes. Could be. Rarely do I have this issue. I'll answer last question before we get started for the day. Boeing, I like long term. I own it. Microsoft $1 billion deal with the Pentagon. I like Microsoft long term. If it breaks below 200, I will be buying. All right, guys, we'll leave it there. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks for putting up with my internet being crappy. For some reason, it's been cutting in and out. Who knows? May have to reset the modem. Have a great rest of your day, guys. We'll catch you guys tomorrow for a morning note. On Thursday, excuse me. Have a great Wednesday, and we'll catch you guys soon. If you have not already, make sure to click on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for our videos. Really do appreciate it. More great things to come. Catch you guys later.